Hello students, today we are going to review some of the mock EOG questions. I'm going to begin with number 1. They ask, what is the simplified form of the expression below? And the expression is 2 squared raised to the 4th power times 2 to the negative 5th power. Remember, when you're dealing with exponents, if you have a power like 2 squared raised to the 4th power, you multiply those two exponents together. So that would be 2 times 4, or 2 to the 8th power. Now, when we're multiplying that times another power, not raising it to a power, but just multiplying it to another power, we add those together. So now we have 2 to the 8th plus 2 to the negative 5th. 8 and the negative 5th gives us 2 to the 3rd. So the answer to this question is C, 2 to the 3rd power. The second problem is probably the easiest problem you will see. Which value is equivalent to the square root of 5 squared? If it's 5 squared, it's 5 times 5, and the square root of that would be 5, which is C. Number 3, how is the number 0.0058 written in scientific notation? This is a decimal, and when you're changing a decimal to scientific notation, the decimal moves to the right. Remember, all scientific notation involves a number between 1 and 9 multiplied by a power of 10. So we're going to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right, which will give us 5.8. And since we've moved it to the right, we have a negative exponent. We've moved it 3 times, and so we have 5.8 times 10 to the negative 3rd power, or D. Okay? Number 4, which expression is equivalent to parentheses 5.2 times 10 to the 7th parentheses divided by parentheses 4.0 times 10 to the negative 3rd parentheses? The first thing we want to do is divide the bases, or 5.2 and 4.0. And we have 5.2 divided by 4.0. If we do that with the calculator, we get 1.3. Now we need to perform the operation on the exponents, and that is 10 to the 7th divided by 10 to the negative 3rd. When we were multiplying exponents, we added them. Now that we're dividing them, we will subtract them. So we have 10 to the 7th minus 10 to the negative 3rd. Remember, when we're subtracting a negative, it's the same as adding it. So this is the same effect as 10 to the 7th plus 3, or 10 to the 10th. And so the answer to this is D, 1.3 times 10 to the 10th. Number 5, we are asked to compare the amount of rain flowing into 2 containers. It's flowing at different rates. The figure below shows the volume of water in each container. In container 1, if you look at the graph, it flows 1 gallon for each 5 minutes. Container 2 is a table, and it shows that it flows 2 gallons for every 5 minutes. And so container 2 is filling at a rate of 1 gallon every 5 minutes faster than container 1. But the question is, what's the difference in the rate of change between the 2 containers? But they're not giving it in 5-minute increments. They're giving it in 1-minute increments. So if container 2 is filling at a rate of 1 gallon every 5 minutes more than container 1, then it's filling at 1/5 a gallon per minute. That's 1 gallon divided by 5 minutes, which gives us the rate per minute. Okay? Number 6, Andrea rented a canoe for 5 hours. The rental company charged her a $20 fee plus $5 an hour. Which graph best represents the rental company charge? Andrea is going to have to pay $20 before she ever uses the canoe. She's going to have to pay a flat fee of $20. And so at 0 time, she's going to have a $20 cost. Graph A, Graph B, and Graph C do not reflect that $20 cost before she starts paying the hourly fee, but Graph D does. We see at 0 time there is a $20 cost, and then they start adding the hourly charge. So Graph D is the correct answer for number 6. Okay. Number 7, Annie was given 2 pieces of information and must write the equation of a line. She knows that the line crossed the y-axis at the point 0, 5 and has a slope of -4. What's the equation of a line? Well, first let's remember what the equation of a line looks like. It's y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. The problem tells us that this line crosses the y-axis at 0, 5. Well, the y-intercept is the point at which the line crosses the y-intercept. We know that in an ordered pair such as 0, 5, the first number is the point along the x-axis, and the second point is the point along the y-axis. So x is 0 and y is 5 in this point. So the y-intercept, where it touches the y-axis, is 5. B is 5. And it tells us that the slope is -4. So y equals mx plus b. Y equals -4x plus 5. And that is D. Number 8, a system of equations is shown below. 3x minus 2y equals 12. Y equals -2x plus b. We're going to substitute the value for y in the first equation. So instead of having 3x minus 2y equals 12, we're going to have 3x minus 2 times -2x plus 8 parentheses equals 12. And if we simplify that,